Tell us about meeting Malcolm X, because you were at the Oxford Union and he came to speak there, didn't he?
Well, look, with Malcolm, our knowledge, my knowledge certainly, but that of that whole generation which didn't live in the States, about the black struggles in the United States was very limited. And meeting Malcolm X, leaving aside the speech he made, I had the chance to spend 2 hours with him. And he just explained what that society was. And by the end of it, one was quite shell-shocked. But what really shook me at that meeting was when, you get up to say goodbye, and I said, "Bye, Malcolm, good to see you, great to see you, and I hope we meet again." And the guy you're saying this to says, "I don't think we will." So you suddenly say, "But why?" I said, "Why?" He said, "I think they're going to kill me fairly soon." So, I sat down again. I said, "Malcolm, who is going to kill you?" He said, "The FBI, the Nation of Islam, a combination of both." And two thoughts simultaneously went through my head. Either this guy's a bit of a hustler, or he's a very great man, simultaneously. And then that night, I couldn't sleep. I was thinking, but no one had said that to me. I was in my early 20s. That this is going, and then this was in November, I think, and in early February we opened lifted the Guardian, and on the front page, Malcolm X assassinated. The whole group of us who I told about the talk, we just went and spent that day in a pub, drinking and crying, really, that this had actually happened to someone one had met.
Interesting, because his conversion to Islam, or the Nation of Islam firstly, and then later sort of more mainstream Islam. For him, religion was a way of activating radicalism, but for you, it never really has been, has it?
No, and it's funny, when he first came up to me, Malcolm X, at the meeting, before the meeting, and we were introduced, and he said, Tariq Ali, Muslim brother. I said, "Hang on, Malcolm." I said, "I'm not a religious person, and I'm not a believer." He started laughing. He said, "Actually, I've just come from a tour of the Muslim world, and I've met people like you in Africa and in the Arab Peninsula and all this, your age, your generation, and saying the same thing." I said, "Well, I'll tell you why. Because if you're born in a country where 96% of the people are Muslims, there are other things to discuss apart from your identity."
Yeah.